Let's take a look at the Geek Smart LB400 Smart Lock, 3rd edition. The LB400 comes with a fingerprint unlock, password unlock, app unlock, RFID unlock, and key unlock. So let's take a look at what's inside the box. When opening, you will notice that there is a user manual. It also comes with a punch card for punching holes in your door. Inside the box, you will find a dead latch. You will find RFID cards. You will find a strike box here, and then you will find all the necessary screws and spindles and what have you. You will also find the keys for the lock, and of course the lock itself. Let's go ahead and try and install the LB400. First, we want to take the latch and insert it into the door. You want to pay attention to which direction the door opens, and in case that the lock does not turn, or the handle does not turn when you're done installing, the sole reason for that might be that the latch needs turning. For right opening doors, standard opening doors, I'm going to put the inches on top here and insert it. Now that the latch sits tightly in the door frame, or in the door, we want to take the front panel of the lock. Then we want to find the connecting screws and put them on the little back screws there. There we go. Now that the 2 connecting screws sits on the front side of the lock, find the spindle. This is a spindle, and put it into the lock. There's something very important you want to notice here. On the lock, you can see there's a couple of letters here. It says R, L, and S. You will also notice that inside the hole there where the wire comes out, there's a little metal plate here. We can see it. This metal plating should face towards S. It should face towards S. So what we want to do now is we want to take the spindle and wire the wiring through the spindle. And then we want to make sure that the little hole there on the spindle points up towards the metal sheet that I showed you before. Put it in there, so there's a little click, and then we want to make sure that it faces towards S. There we go. Now our front side is ready. Let's put it into the door handle, so the door. We can find its way through the latch. We can shake it a little bit to make it easier for ourselves. There we go. We can start the other side, the inside side of the door lock. We want to go ahead and take a screwdriver and disassemble the inside panel ever so slightly, and we can pop it up right there. Now we can see that there's another element, 2 other elements to this inside lock, right? Then we want to unscrew these 2 screws as well. There we go. So you can see that we actually have 3 parts to the interior lock. Then we take the innermost part of the interior lock, and we notice that there's a little button up there at the top, and that there's a little socket down here on the bottom. We want to keep, when installing, we want to keep the bottom on top and the socket down below. So we take our interior part here, we take the wiring from the front panel. Let me show you here. There we go. And you notice that the button sits on top and the socket sits on the bottom. Now we want to go ahead and take the wiring and connect it to the socket down below here. There we go. Now we take the wiring and we fit it into the hole. There we go, the socket hole, so that it does not get crushed later on. There we go, sits nice and tightly there. We take the next, or the in-between part, and we notice that there is a hole there, right there. This is the hole for the button. Take it on there. Now we take the screws from before and we connect these 2 parts so that it sits tightly. Now we're ready for the last step of the installation. We want to take the outside part of the interior lock side and we want to fill it with batteries in here. So find your batteries and pop them in there. Now we want to make sure that the little button there is on top, and we can just pop it in there. There you go. Oh, and you can hear it gives a reaction, right? So we also want to tighten this button so that the batteries goes nowhere. All right. After you're done installing, you want to give it a test. See if it opens from the outside. It should not. And you want to turn it from the inside. It should open. Very good.